Hello, I'm Kerry from Mobilates. Lovely to see you somewhere through the screen again. I think you had Leanne last week, so you've got me this week, and I shall be here each week at this time at 4:30. So we're going to do a gentle mobility session. You can do it from a chair, you can do it standing, and you can do it sitting on a bed, because halfway through we're going to go down to the floor or the bed. If you're on a bed, just take your duvet back. You might want your pillows close by because they're nice for a bit of extra padding at the sides. But it's just so you know how you can do this class. And feel free to drop in at the comments like any problems that you're having, because at Mobilates we really specialise in accessible Pilates. So if you've got any extra aches and pains, shoulders, hips, knees, anything you like, just let me know, especially if you think you're going to be here regularly, because then I can give you a bit of advice, and you can always email us info@mobilates.co.uk. So we're going to start with a bit of breath work, and you can do this standing or you can do it sitting. So I'm going to come and sit for this one. And if you're standing, just check that your feet are spread out. If you're sitting, check that your legs a little bit wider than hip width apart. We tend to put 2 fists between our knees. That gives you good spacing on your legs and your feet. Just get your hips nice and balanced. Hello, Laura. Good afternoon. And then just sit yourself comfortably. Doesn't have to be anything special, just comfortable. Not leaning back on the chair, I'm self-supporting. And if you're standing, just a soft bend in your knees. And as we inhale, we're going to lift our hands up. And as we exhale, the hands are going to go down. That's all there is to it. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Hello, Irene. Nice to see you again through the screen. If you find your nose is tricky, just try and inhale through your nose. You can always exhale through your mouth. Okay? So we're going to inhale and exhale. Hi, Jay. Inhale. Exhale. And just keep that going. If you're sitting, you might want to close your eyes, because it certainly makes you more mindful. It takes you right into what you're doing. It takes you into the moment. It's a perfect definition of mindfulness, just focusing on what's happening right now. And you don't have to follow my pace. You can set your own pace with this. It's your breath, not my breath. So just inhaling and exhaling nice and slow. If the hands are a bit much, just rest them here. If you can keep that movement going, keep it going. And then as you're doing that, where is the breath going in? Where is it going out? Sounds a bit of a funny question, but when you breathe in, you should be breathing into your belly and your chest. As you breathe into your chest, your diaphragm needs to move down into your belly to make room for the air to come in. So to do this, we have to soften our belly. Often we've gripped onto our bellies when we've been doing exercise. You're holding everything in. But for this relaxing breath, you can let it go. So let your belly go. That's it. And then you can feel it just start to stick out a little as you breathe in. Just deflate a little as you breathe out. And then as you're doing that, your chest is doing the same. It's just coming forwards a little and then just going back. Just keep going for 1 or 2 more. You might find your breath has got slower and steadier. And then you can just rest your hands down. I'm going to come to standing, but you can stay sitting if you want to. It's all going to work either way. So from this position, just check in with your feet. Your feet should be pointing forwards and parallel to each other. Soft knees. If you're sitting, just check that you've still got that gap between your knees and your feet are roughly ahead. And then imagine there's a string almost at the back of your head, just pulling up a little taller. Oh, I felt the length, and I hope you felt yourself growing. So if you're sitting, just sitting up from here to here. If you're standing, it's the same area. Beautiful. Then just take your shoulders back a little. So that's what I'm normally like. And then I'm just going to squeeze them back a little. And it's my shoulder blades that are doing the work, my scapula. And I'm going to keep them there. It's like a soft hug at the back. Still breathing in and out, nice and soft. But now, I want you to imagine I've just got really cold water and I've just poured it sort of down here, all down here. It's all a bit wet and soggy. So now I want you to pull your belly muscles in a little. So that relaxed belly even, we're just going to tighten it in. Just feel those muscles just starting to have a little contraction almost. And then when you've got that tightness there, this is your power, we're going to do a little bit of tilting back and forth. So do you see my bottom tucking under? And then just going back. It's a really small movement. I've got my hand on my back and my hand just on my belly. But you can also do this with your hands on your hips. But the muscles for working this movement, not your bottom muscles, they're nice and relaxed. The belly's doing the work. So we're just bringing that low spine, lumbar in and out, just gently bringing a bit of movement in. Perfect. And now make it smaller and smaller so that movement's tiny. That's it. And now still. And just let your arms come down again. Take those shoulders back. We're going to take our chin back a little. You know when you're doing it because you can feel all the extra chins just coming underneath. So we're not trying to look up, we're not looking down, looking ahead. And just taking the head back and up. It's really the chin tucking in. And then take that back. You'll feel a bit of length on the back of your neck. Bring out your inner giraffe. And just slowly start to take it round. One side and the other. Chin stays parallel to the floor. So it's a bit like a turntable. Or one of those things that you do cake icing on. That's it. Doesn't need to be a big movement. Just keep it steady and smooth. Bring it back to the centre. Keep that tuck, so there's a little bit of fullness feeling here. And then we're just going to look slightly down. So I'm just taking my nose and my chin down to the floor, but I'm keeping a bit of length in the back of my neck. And then I'm taking it slightly up. But instead of taking my head back, I'm just going to look up. Then down. I'm going to show you from the side. That looking up does a lot. So there's no need to really crush this area of your neck. Keeping it a small movement. Next time you go forwards, we're just going to roll from one side and then to the other, keeping a bit of length at the back of your neck. So what we're trying to avoid is the head falling forwards like that. You don't want that strain. Nice and soft. Hopefully you can hear a bit of gentle music. Just going with that. There's no particular rhythm to it. Find your own rhythm. That's it. And then bring it up and back to the centre. And now we're going to roll those shoulders. Oh, everyone always likes this move. It sort of throws off whatever weight you've been carrying, whether that's like a physical weight or a mental weight. Now is the time to free up that area. You know it's where a lot of our tension goes, especially these muscles here. So really letting the arms hang. So it's the shoulders doing the work, not this bit, nothing going on at the back, just these shoulders. And then you're just squeezing as you take them back. Lovely. And now I want you to take you down to your feet. So whether you're sitting or standing, I'm just going to move a little further back just so you get my feet in camera. Just lift your toes up. So if it's my fingers, it's like doing that. And then take them down. Now the hard bit now is to do that without looking at your feet. So keeping that softness in your body. That's it. And really spread those toes out. Hello, Jill. Oh, I'm glad you're finding it relaxing already. Totally the aim of this class. Just so you can go into your head, get some movement going, give your body a treat. And now spread all those toes out. Really feel the mat. You've given yourself a better sort of grounding, a better base. Same if you're sitting. And now we're just going to just come forward. I'm going to loom at you and loom back. If you're sitting, it's just the same, but you're hinging. Just like that. Press into your feet. You can't see my feet in this position, but I'm pressing them into the floor. And as you press, you feel it in your belly as well. But keep a straight back. That's it. So that's our forwards and backwards. You can do a little side to side, to lean from one foot to the other. That's quite nice. And then we're going to be very daring and just try a little circle. Keep it small to start with. And as you circle, feel what's happening with your feet. Feel that changing weight because you're constantly moving. If I do it sitting down, I'm going to go in the other direction. So if you're standing, change direction. So when you're doing this sitting down, you really feel it on your sitting bones and your bottom, particularly the sitting bones, the sort of bottom bits of your pelvis. And as you shift around, the weight shifts from one to the other and off. That's it. So hopefully you've been in both directions. And just bring it back to stillness. And then we're going to start a really gentle sort of march. So I'm just raising my heel up. If I show you from the side, just going onto the ball of my foot, keeping my weight pretty central. I'm not leaning forwards or back. Arms are going back and forth. The thing to watch here, particularly if you're standing, is the hips are doing this. Is there anyone doing that? Bring them in. Just keep that movement forwards. That's it. If you find you've got the same arm as leg, it doesn't matter. They're moving. And the next place to take this is just to start lifting that leg a little higher. That's it. If you're sitting, just coming up like that. Do you feel a little bit more here on your hip flexors? Because they have to work a little harder. It's like going up really big stairs. So if you're sitting, you think you're having an easier time, but you might be having a harder time. That's it. And then we're going to choose a leg and just hold it. So if you're sitting on the chair, we're just going to take one leg up slightly, enough so you can get your foot off the floor. You can always hold your leg if you're sitting. And then I just come back a little, just start to rotate that foot nice and slow, round one way. And then the other, just take it slow, especially if there's any sticky bits, anything that's a bit sore. And then you can just point it, that's lengthen the foot. You can do that with your foot on the floor. And then you can bring your toe towards your nose, soften this leg a little, put your heel on the floor. And then we'll go to the other side. So I just got a little click with that one just as I released it, so it's obviously it needed that sort of movement. So balancing on that one leg, lifting the leg if you're in the chair, so you might be hands underneath, just circling round. So your leg might be really, your foot rather, might be really close to the floor. Trying to keep nice and upright, circle the other way. Think of that string or that balloon pulling you up. Perfect. And then lengthen that foot. You can even straighten your whole leg if you want to get a long length. If you're sitting, just lengthen your foot and your foot can be touching the floor. And then pulling your toes towards your nose. If you find that a bit tricky, just bend this other leg so that foot's on the floor. It gives you a bit more balance. Beautiful, nice little mobilizing sequence for your feet. Right, just tell me where we're going next. We're going to go with our legs a little wider. So if you're sitting, legs like this, so we can move them, and I'm lifting my heel up to get me from side to side like that. If you're standing, just like this, rocking from foot to foot. So there's always something on the ground at the moment. You've got that support. You can also do this with the chair in front of you and use that for a little bit of balance support. A bit more clicking going on there. And then the arms can join in. And you can even start to take your foot off the floor if you want to. That's it. And then a little loop of the arms. Whew. And a little loop of the arms. Another one. Lifting that leg a bit higher if you want to. And that's the last one. And then just let your feet just walk it out. Same if you're sitting, just walk it out. And then, if you're sitting, I just want you to do a little slide down of your hands. A little twist in the body there. If you're standing, bring your legs a little closer and let your feet move as you just start to twist your body gently, looking behind you. But let those feet come off the floor. So we don't go into our knee with a sort of weird turn. This keeps it nice and soft. Just feel that air as you're doing it. If you're sitting, you can now start moving your hand from knee to knee, and then you'll get that air feeling too. Let your head just move with your body. And then we're just going to take it with our arms in at our sides. So bring your legs back to hip width. And it's as if we're going to serve somebody a cake with each arm. So just take one arm out to the side and bring it back. And the other arm turning out to the side. See my elbow in towards my waist? That's where it should be. If I show you at the side, you can see that view too. I'm just serving you something delicious. Serve someone over there something delicious. So you're just getting a lovely external rotation of your shoulder. Now you might find you've got one side that, it can go a long way. And you might find, hello Dana, it's all right, late is okay. You might find the other side, it goes that far. That's okay. It's just what they do. And then I'm going to put that arm down my hip. This hand's going out, and then it's going out to the side. I'm just going to do a little lean over. Bring it back. Nice and slow. Breathing in, breathing out. One more on this side. Just getting a little side bend in there. And then I'm going to swap it over. It's just the same on the chair. Taking that hand out. It's like a little plate offering somebody something. Taking it out. Put a little lean over in. Bring it back. So if you want to think about the breath, you can breathe in here. As that hand reaches out, breathe out. Lovely. One more. And then we're going to do a little roll down. So you can do this standing or sitting. And I really like, it's a kind of wide leg roll down. Very safe if you've got any back issues. So I take my legs quite wide, my feet point outwards, and then it's almost like I'm going to sit down on something. I'm just going to hitch my leggings up a little bit. My back's straight. So I'm going to sit down on something like a high stool. And then at this point here, you see my body's sort of in a line, head to the base of my bottom. Then I'm going to tuck my bottom under. And as I tuck my bottom under, I can feel my legs engage here. I can feel my belly muscle sort of pulling back, almost like there's a ball coming towards it. It starts to round up my back. It's almost like I'm thrusting forwards a little bit, tucking under, tucking under. Now I've got to the point I don't think I can tuck under anymore. So I'm going to push up through my legs and then take my head up. I'll do one more like that. Slow motion, tucking this under. And when I feel I can't tuck any more, it's really scooped out here like there's a ball coming towards me. Push up through my legs, take my head up. If I was sitting, I'll show you from the side. Wide legs, just the same, hinging forwards. So I'm just leaning on these bits of my legs and my thighs. Now I'm tucking under, so it's a little pelvic curl again. It feels like I'm really pulling those muscles back. See my head's going down. And then I'm going to push up with my arms and roll up. Do one more like that. tucking under. Starts to feel a bit like a wave. And then we're going to make our way down to the floor or the bed, whichever you're using. If you're using the bed, get the duvet out of the way so you're just on your mattress with the sheet on it. I'm going to come down to the floor, so I'll just change the camera so you can see me right down on the floor. And take your time. There's no hurry. And if you want a cushion under your head, have that, have a bit of comfort. And when you get down there, and like I said, there is no hurry. So you might want to come down onto your side first and then roll back. Lots of people have different ways of getting down to the floor. And we're going to be in what we call semi-supine. It just means lying down with your legs bent. And when you get down there, because we've been standing up, this is quite a change. So you need to have a little wriggle and just get comfortable. And there's nothing more technical I can say than just have a little wriggle and just ease yourself into it. I really like a little side to side wriggle. You can see my hips are having a just to sort of wriggle out, especially feeling my pelvis and my back and where that's going to go. Just bring your legs together and your feet together. Then take your feet, your heels out and your toes forward. That's beautifully in line. I'm just going to bring the clock down here so I can see what time it is. That's it. And we're just going to do a little breath work here, just like we did before. So soft belly, just let it be relaxed. And we're going to breathe into our belly and our chest. So I can feel them rise there. And then breathe out. They're going down. You can even have a hand on your chest, hand on the belly. Bring them both up and both down. Breathing in and out through our nose. And now we're going to bring in our active breath. So I'm going to pour that cold water on you again. Imagine this cold water just going here. Not a lot, so just dripped a little bit on. And as I drip it, your belly goes, oh, oh, oh. You can just feel that coldness spreading. So it's making it tense. And you can suddenly feel those muscles start to pull across. This t-shirt helps today. It's got lots of sort of long lines in it. That's what your tummy muscles underneath your belly, that's what they're doing. Transverse abdominis. And then as you do that, you can feel, hopefully, you can't actually feel it and touch it. It's a little tiny space right underneath the very small of your back, not your waist, right underneath here. And to get in touch with that, we're going to do a little pelvic tut, so pubic bone towards the nose. So take a breath into your ribs. As you breathe out, pulling your belly as if it's coming away from the t-shirt and pulling your pubic bone towards your nose. See my bottom sort of tilts back. And now that little space squished against the mat. Then relax. Back to the start. Breathing in. As we breathe out, do that pelvic tuck again. Pubic bone coming towards the nose, really squashing into the mat. And then release. Now this time, put your hands down, so your arms are by your sides. Bring your feet in a little bit closer. Breath into the ribs. I can feel it pressing into the mat behind me. As we breathe out, tilt your pubic bone towards your nose and start to press into your feet. And we're going to go a little bit higher. Can you see? Oh, it's starting to peel away from the floor. That might be how high you want to go. Just hold it there. Just pressing to the floor. My glutes are they're just gently gripping, gently tightening. They're not hanging on for dear life. And then slowly, it's almost like you're trying to pour water down on yourself, pouring yourself back into the mat. Oh, lovely. We're going to go for another one. Breathe in. As you breathe out, take yourself up. Maybe a little bit higher. That's about the maximum. So that would be a straight line between your knee and your shoulder. But you might find you're a bit lower than that. That's a bit more comfortable. That's good. And then pouring yourself So this part of your spine, slowly, slowly, slowly. This is the last bit to go down here. So let it just hover, hover, hover. And this time let your legs just fall out. Close your legs. Bring your feet a little bit closer so they're not touching, just a little bit closer. Arms down. Breathe in. Pelvic tuck. Tilting under. Coming up as high as you want to go. Might be this high. Might be this high. Might be this high. Might be this high. Pressing through your feet. Spread those toes. Squeezing those glutes. Squeezing sounds much nicer than gripping. Shouldn't be any pressure on the shoulders. Jaw should be relaxed. And then slowly pour yourself down into that mat, coming right down these ribs, letting them gently kiss into the floor, tucking under here. And then just let those legs fall out. You know, a little wriggle from side to side. If you like, you can bring your feet in together. Now, if you're on your bed and you've got pillows, I'm just trying to reach for my nearest cushion, you can even have them there and one there. That really is a bit of luxury. Maybe even stacked or folded up, depends how low your legs go. And then we're going to do a little breath work. So I'm taking my feet slightly further apart. I'm going to breathe in, bring my legs together. Breathe out, take them apart. In together. Out apart. Now this time this belly is doing quite a bit of work. So it doesn't move in and out because we're on an active breath. If you want to do something with your arms as well, they can stay here. They can go palms up, or you can take them up like this. Let your shoulders sink into the floor. As you breathe in, take your legs out. As you exhale, breathing out, bring your arms so they're close to each other. There's a bit of space. Arms are floating off the floor, and then they're closing up. You feel a little bit of work going on here. Those muscles are working for you. Lovely. You can close your eyes into this one. There's a little pause between that inhale and exhale. That's your last one. Now take your arms out into a T. Just take your legs a slight distance apart so they're roughly, you can see there's a little bit of space between my knees and my feet there. Just let your legs have a little sway. So everything's staying on the floor. Maybe my side of my bum is just coming away, side of my hip. That's it. If the arms feel a bit strained, just take them down a little bit. Just feel where it's comfortable. If they don't feel stretched enough, take them up a little bit. All those little movements can make a difference. And then we're just going to let them fall where they want to fall. Again, if you want a cushion underneath for a bit of support, depends how easy it is for your hips to move over. If they're really stiff, you might want a stack of cushions. Take a breath in. And out in your own time. Breathing in. As you breathe out, use these belly muscles to help you roll back to the center. And we're going to go over the other side. You might want to shift your cushion over. This is the joy of doing a class at home. All those cushions. And then you can even have your head rolling the opposite direction. Just breathing in there and out. In and out. In your own time. And on your next breath in, bring your legs up. I'm just going to move that cushion back. Arms back to T. And then take your legs as wide as you can. And then I'm going to dip this knee downwards. This leg is just falling out a little bit. It doesn't need to go to the floor. It's this leg that's doing the work. I'm using the side of this foot to sort of push it down. And now I can feel my bum coming away from the mat. Getting a big stretch down here. I know I look like I'm in one of those games where you're playing like a real life Cluedo. That's the sort of look we're going for. And again, breathing into this position. On your next breath in, as you breathe out, use this leg to push over the other way. So now this leg is taking itself down. This leg finds its own place. So you can move that foot a little bit if you want to. Move it like that, wherever it feels good. But this is a side. You want to press into the side of that foot that's on the floor. Just find what's good for you. Just taking slow breaths whilst you're here. Little space between those breaths. It doesn't need to be really deep. Check there's no tension in your shoulders. Give a little wriggle. And then on your next breath in, get ready to push yourself up on the exhale. Walk those legs closer together. And then the easiest thing now is to roll onto your side and push yourself up. Take your time. And then when you've pushed yourself up, take yourself to a sitting position that's comfortable for you. So some people like to go into cross legs, some people like a straddle, some people like a sort of mix. It might be that side, it might be bent, it might be that side. So whatever works for you. Take your arms out to the side. So just turning those palms outwards. See, my arms are just hovering there off the floor. Take a breath in and your hands are going up. And as you breathe out, bring those hands together to your chest center. Thank your body for taking yourself through that class. I hope it was beautifully relaxing, calming and mobilizing. If you've got any questions or you want to give any feedback or tell me anything to think about for next time for you, put it in the chat. I'm going to stick around for a bit and I'll check in with these answers later as well if you've not had time. I'll see you next week. Thanks very much.